Start action cut.
You think you're watching a conversation. You're not. You're watching a power trip disguised as entertainment. The host holds the microphone, the host controls the edit, and the guest carries the entire risk. In the intermedia landscape, the interview has shifted from curiosity to interrogation, and finally to humiliation. Tonight, we are deconstructing three specific traps. So, answer this. If the goal is to understand the artist, why is the format designed to dismantle them? We follow the behavior so you don't get fooled by the format. Number 1. Annie's Kitchen, when appearance becomes content.
മേക്കപ്പ് ചെയ്തത് മേക്കപ്പിൽ ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ മേക്കപ്പ്.
Let's start with the most deceptively dangerous setting, the kitchen. The premise of this show is disarming, it's domestic, it's safe, it's just two women talking while cooking. But this domestic setting is often used as a Trojan horse for invasive, regressive policing. Look at the infamous interaction with the actress Nimisha Sajayan.
ഇതൊക്കെ പാർട്ട് ഓഫ് ദ ഇതാണ് ചെയ്യണ്ടേ.
ചേച്ചി ഞാൻ എന്റെ പേഴ്സണൽ ഫീലിംഗ് പറയാണ്. എന്നെ നിങ്ങൾ സ്ക്രീനിൽ കണ്ട് സന്തോഷിച്ചാൽ മതി, ബാക്കി എന്റെ പേഴ്സണൽ ലൈഫ് അല്ലേ.
This moment didn't explode because the guest said something shocking. It exploded because the question itself shifted the focus from professional achievement to cosmetic compliance. When a host asks an award-winning actor why she doesn't put on makeup, they are not asking a question, they are enforcing a standard. This is what we call appearance as content. In a financial crisis, we talk about misallocation of funds. In a media crisis, this is a misallocation of focus. We have a talent in front of you who has transformed Malayalam cinema with raw, realistic performances, and yet the line of questioning tries to drag her back into a box of cosmic expectation. It frames the guest's natural state as a failure that needs explanation. This is not motherly concern as well. This is passive aggressive policing, and it sets a trap. If the guest answers politely, they validate the insult. If they react, they become the villain. Section 2. PEARLE Money Interruption as a format. Now let's move from the kitchen to the couch. Let's talk about the energy. There is a style of hosting popular on YouTube right now that confuses high energy with high volume. The prime example here is the PEARLE Money show. On the surface, it looks fun, it looks viral, but look at the mechanics of the conversation. Different guests, different episodes, same behavior. This isn't personality, it's format. The format here is the host as the main character. In a traditional interview, the host is a conduit, a bridge between the audience and the guest. In this dynamic, the host is the barrier. Every time a guest starts to articulate a complex thought, there is an interruption. A loud laugh, a clap, a diversion. So answer this. Is the audience here to hear the guest or to watch the host react to the guest? This is what I call the attention tax. The guest pays a tax for being on the platform, and the currency is their silence. You see this repeatedly. A guest begins to open up about a struggle, a process, or a vulnerability, and immediately, boom, the host inserts themselves. It signals to the audience that the guest's words are less important than the host's entertainment value. It trains the audience to have a short attention span. It rewards noise over nuance. And the defense? Oh, that's just her style. She's just being real. Being real does not mean being rude. Interrupting someone is not a quirk, it's a domination tactic. It asserts control over the pacing of the dialogue. It says, I decide when the sentence ends, not you. When we analyze political speeches, we look for who controls the microphone. In these interviews, the microphone might be shared, but the airtime is monopolized. Section 3. Roundtables. Intellectual power and silent pressure. So the kitchen judges your face, the couch drowns out your voice, and surely the round table is safe? Let's see. The round table is marketed as the highest form of cinema disclosure. Serious actors, serious journalists, the adda. But this is where the power dynamics are most insidious because they are invisible. They are wrapped in the language of intellect. Let's look at the experience of Parvati Tiruvuthu in these places. This is lived experience, not theory, not debate, just the reality. But watch the body language of the room. Watch the intellectual man in the circle. In these setups, we often see what I call the academic filter. When a woman speaks about her trauma or systemic abuse in the industry, it is often treated by the male counterparts or the host as a topic for debate rather than a fact of existence. They intellectualize her pain. They interrupt to add context to her own story. There is a specific violence in explaining a woman's oppression back to her using bigger words. In many of these roundtables, you will see man-interrupting phenomenon. It's subtle. It's a hand raised while she is still speaking. It's looking at the moderator instead of the woman speaking. It creates a silent pressure. The woman in that chair knows she has to speak twice as clearly, twice as calmly, and with twice as much data just to be taken half as seriously as the man sitting next to her who is just riffing. If she gets angry, she is emotional. If she stays calm, she is ignored. The round table promises equality. Everyone has a seat at the table, but the table is tilted. The host often defers to the superstar male, giving him the final word, while the female actor who raised the critical point is left as a footnote. This is not an exchange of ideas, this is a hierarchy reinforced on camera. So the pattern. These interviews don't look the same. One is cooking curry, one is laughing on the sofa, and the other one is discussing cinema in a studio. There are so much to discuss, but we're limited in these three. But the structure is identical. In all these three cases, the guest is a prop. In the kitchen, they are a prop for traditional values. On the couch, they are a prop for the host's energy. At the round table, they are a prop for the intellectual balance. The pattern is the removal of agency. The guest is invited in, but they are not allowed to be themselves. They must fit the mold the show has cast for them. And when they don't, when Nimisha refuses to apologize for her face, or when Parvati refuses to soften her tone, the system punishes them. The comment section is weaponized. The troll army is activated, and the host gets views, the channels get engagement. This is the economy of discomfort. Uncomfortable guests make for viral clips. And this is not about intent. Let's be clear. This is not about cancelling anyone. This is not about saying those hosts are evil people. We often hear the defense. They didn't mean it that way, or it was just their joke. But in media analysis, intent is irrelevant. Impact is everything. It doesn't matter if the host intended to humiliate the guest. What matters is that the format allowed it to happen and the edit chose to keep it in. Remember, these are recorded shows. Someone watched that footage, someone edited it, someone approved it, and yet someone titled it Hilarious Reaction. That is a choice. That is corporate decision to monetize disrespect. If you invite a guest into your space, you owe them safety, not protection from difficult questions, but safety from ridicule, safety from domination, and safety from being used as a punchline. So, the next time you watch a viral interview clip where a celebrity looks arrogant or annoyed, stop and look at the host. Look at the question, look at the edit, look at who holds the power. If guests keep adjusting themselves to fit these broken formats, nothing changes. It's time hosts examine themselves. We watch the unedited truth so you don't get fooled by the viral clip. This is Chandni signing off from the Unmasked Intern. Always fearless, unbiased, and unfiltered. Stay tuned.